high 20s, so it is certainly not going to be cold. Right, let's give you some breaking news. Uber has been granted a licence to continue operating in London for 15 months. Let's go live to our reporter Alex Iszatt, who is at Westminster Magistrates Court for us. Alex, news that Uber will have been hoping for.
Absolutely. They had said yesterday at the start of their appeal that they had made wholesale change across the board, and now that they've got this 15 months, it would be a real win for them. They'd actually lost the licence renewal back in September last year when TfL said that there was concerns for public safety and public security. Yesterday, the General Manager, Tom Eldridge, agreed with TfL's finding in their 21-page document and had said that a lot of things had changed since then, including the hiring process and also the way that they regulate. But it's not just going to be about Uber and this whole new regulation changes. It's also about other apps and other sharing apps on the streets. Now, joining me now is Miranda. She's here to tell me about the gig economy and what this is going to mean for the future. Miranda, so we've heard now that they've got their renewal. So what does this mean for Uber and for generally the marketplace?
So I don't think that Uber are fit and proper to operate in London in their current state. But whether or not they win or lose this appeal is really not going to matter, because we currently have a licensing system run by TfL which is designed to support platforms that are venture capital backed. There's no opportunity for an ethical alternative, and really if it wasn't Uber, it's going to be Taxify or it's going to be Viavan, which are companies run according to exactly the same model. In the last few months, Uber have run a really effective campaign strategy to show that they care about the safety and security of their passengers. But what they haven't addressed is the really crucial issues around this kind of business, and those are the way they treat their workers and their evasion of tax.
And obviously this appeal today, part of it was about that, wasn't it? It is about the changing gig economy and how those workers are going to be affected. Could another app come in place and maybe be better?
Well, yeah, to begin with, they're really doing nothing to address this totally bogus self-employment status, which enables them to deny their workers sick pay, pensions, benefits. These people are overworked, they're underpaid, they're underprotected. We talk about the safety and security of Londoners, of passengers, but these are also Londoners, and they're not safe. You know, a huge number of them have been abused and harassed. They're not secure in this kind of precarious work. I think there are really exciting alternatives. There have been a lot of movement towards workers-owned alternatives to Uber, but unless we see a fundamental change in TfL's licensing structure and in the capital you need to set something like that up, that's not going to happen.
I mean, there are 40,000 Uber drivers, so you know those people are going to be grateful to have a job. And there is also concerns about 0 hours that you mentioned there, but that's probably not going to change. There's always going to be drivers, isn't there? So are you hoping that this is going to make sure, like TfL are going to make sure that they're audited all the way through?
I really hope so. But I think the other crucial thing we need to think about beyond just workers' rights for these drivers is what this kind of company is actually contributing to our economy. So, you know, Uber depends completely on our public infrastructure. They depend on roads, they depend on policemen, they depend on the TfL licensing structure. But they currently have a model that allows them to give nothing back. Every time you make a transaction through Uber, the system is based offshore, so you don't have to pay VAT. And this is a serious concern.
Well, thank you, Miranda, for joining me today.
Thank you.
So we have it. So 40,000 drivers aren't going to be out of a job, but this renewal is definitely not the end of this issue. We're going to see probably an audit, and TfL will definitely be on top of all Uber regulations from now on.
OK, that is Alex Iszatt for us over at Westminster.